Hey Northwest, I'm Aaron Albers.
And I'm Abby Marks. We don't have any Cougar Roundup this week. Bye.
Wait, what? Dude,
What?
we do have an episode this week. What are you talking about?
Well, I just thought maybe.
No, Abby, you messed up. You're a complete idiot and you totally ruined the season finale of Cougar Roundup. Hey Abby, what do you call a nomination you get for prom?
I don't know. What?
A promination, get it? It sounds like nomination, but then the last part's like...
I get it.
Here's some more promination information from Peyton Alley. Take it away, girls.
I am considered the prom sponsor, and so I typically would host a committee of students, that's juniors and seniors, to help plan prom. This year is going to be a little bit different because of COVID. So they plan to do the same COVID mitigation measures, which would entail a mask. The social distancing will be expected as well. You will have to complete a QR code while you're getting ready before you show up with COVID checklist, making sure you're feeling well that day before you arrive with a check mark to prove that you're good to go. Also, since we are going to be on a stadium turf, it's not, there shouldn't be heels because that can kind of not interact well with the turf. You'd need a mask and then that QR code, check mark approval of the COVID assessment from getting in, because you'll be checking in. Check-in will be from 8 to 8:30. We need to have everyone there before 8:30 to make sure that all those things are done. And then those resources, we then need to turn our focus into monitoring that social distancing. They just expect that it's an extension of the classroom. So, anything that would be applicable in the school handbook would be applicable at the dance as well. I think it could potentially be really special to have it outside, because if it's like a nice evening, and I think that could be really lovely and something that's very unique and different from years past. It's a very non-traditional prom from a sense that it's different than what students' parents had experienced or previous years because of the COVID situation. But I just think you're gonna have as much fun as you allow you and your friends to have.
Hey Abby, do you know anyone that might know some places that I could buy quality and affordable clothing?
I just might. Let's hear about it from some of Northwest's most thriftiest shoppers.
Thrift stores are great. People donate their used things like movies, books, and pictures, and they're sold for a much cheaper price. Thrift stores have red things, blue things, or even green if you're into that kind of thing. Most importantly, thrift stores are packed to the gills with affordable clothes. Recently, however, an online marketplace app called Depop, where you sell clothes, has risen to huge popularity. Depop sellers often source their inventory from thrift stores, and controversially sell it for a higher price. Let's hear more from Northwest's thriftiest shoppers.
I've been thrift shopping probably for 4 years now. I love to thrift shop.
I've been thrifting since 7th grade. My grandparents were in town one weekend and they said, oh, there's a sale at Savers. So we went to check it out and I ended up finding some pretty cool items.
Thrifting, I feel like appeals to a lot more of my style. I believe that thrifting provides a cheaper alternative for those in stores.
I think thrifting is more appealing because it's more like a scavenger hunt that you can do for fun at any time. Whereas if you're shopping at a place like Target or Kohl's or another clothing store, you got to compare prices and whatnot.
I have used Depop before. I don't sell on there, but I do buy from there.
Yes, but I have not actually bought anything from it.
I personally believe that the Depop resellers oversell a lot of items they gain from thrift stores. Just because it's vintage doesn't mean that it should be resold at a higher price that most people can't afford.
Well, it does benefit the thrift stores, but it's sort of harming the people who use Depop and who could really go to their stores and find some of the same items. So I'm somewhere in the middle. neutral on that issue.
I feel like Depop is a bad source for thrifting. I feel like it tarnishes a lot of the thrifting capabilities, and especially with reselling at high prices. It's not truly thrifting if it's not affordable to all different commerce.
There's been a lot of sporting events lately, but luckily Dilraj is here to keep us up to speed. Here's a look at last week's results for all of our sporting games. On Monday, boys varsity tennis fell short to Shawnee Mission East 4-11. Jovan Ozekovic was number 1 in singles. On Tuesday, boys varsity golf competed at Deer Creek with a team score of 356. Drake Shotland hit an 85 and Cooper Newkirk hit an 86. Later that day, boys varsity baseball defeated Shawnee Mission South 3-0. On Wednesday, the boys varsity tennis team beat Mill Valley 8-4. Later that day, girls varsity softball beat the Shawnee Mission West Vikings 13-0. On Thursday, girls varsity soccer sadly lost to Olathe West. Later that day, boys varsity golf competed. Drake Shotland and Cooper Newkirk led the team with a 77. On Thursday, boys varsity baseball had their second shutout of the week when they defeated Lawrence. Well, folks, that's all I got for you today. More information on past and upcoming games can be found on ShawneeMissionNorthwestCougars.com. Thanks! And that's all the time we have today. I'm Abby Marks.
And I'm Aaron Albers, and thanks for watching the season finale of
Cougar Roundup.